This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Harry's. Listeners, I love Harry's. I've been using them for a long time now, and Harry's just sent me one of their brand new products. It's the Truman handle. And what makes the Truman handle unique is that, first of all, they're listening to customers. Second of all, the handle is rubberized. It's got a no-slip grip that gives me extra control. I love the previous handle, don't get me wrong, but occasionally when my hands get a little wet and you're trying to shave and you're trying to get into those places a little tighter, the handle slips. Not so with the Truman handle. I've been using this Truman handle for about a month now, and I think I get a good, close, comfortable shave for about half the price of what you could get by buying a razor at another store. What makes Harry's unique? 3 things. Quality. Blades are German engineered. You get a close, comfortable shave. Quality guaranteed, full refund if you're not happy. Number 2, the price. As I mentioned, Harry's sells blades about half the price of other leading brands. And number 3, convenience. No more blades locked behind plexiglass cases at the drugstore. Find what you need and check out in 30 seconds at harrys.com. Listen, I really want you to get the Truman handle. And it's part of the new Harry's starter set. Get it? The Harry Truman? Yeah, I'm from Kansas. It's a great option for new customers. For just $15, you get a razor handle, moisturizing shave cream, and 3 of Harry's 5-blade German-engineered razors. Plus, there's a special offer for fans of this show. Harry's will give you $5 off your first purchase when you use the promo code CriticalHit. Go to harrys.com right now, use that checkout code CriticalHit, and save $5. A special thank you to Erica. A special thank you goes out this week to Emily for sending us some fan art that we've included in the show notes over at majorspoilers.com. Really cool pieces last week and another one this week. If you want to see Smith and Randus team up, you're definitely going to want to check out the art at the end of this week's episode. Thanks, Emily. And listeners, if you have any fan art that you want to send and share with the rest of the world, just drop me an email, podcast@majorspoilers.com, and I'll add it into the show notes and share it with everyone, because everyone loves seeing what you create. We have one additional sponsor of Critical Hit this week. It's Loot Crate. You know Loot Crate. It's a monthly subscription box that's full of awesome geek and gamer items, as well as cool pop culture gear. For less than $20 per month, you're going to get 6 to 8 items that includes t-shirts, collectibles, and unique one-of-a-kind items. This month's box, the April box, is perfect for Critical Hit listeners because the theme is Quest. Form a party to explore everywhere from far-off kingdoms to worlds hidden within worlds with exclusive items from Labyrinth, Harry Potter, History Channel's Vikings, and Uncharted 4. And of course, as I mentioned, you get a t-shirt and you get a loot pin to help equip you and your party for adventures. Here's the important part. You have until April 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Pacific, to subscribe to receive this month's crate. If you miss that deadline, then I'm sorry, you're out. So make sure you head to lootcrate.com/critical and enter the code CRITICAL to save $3 on any new subscription. It's that easy. Then sit back and wait for the awesome Loot Crate to arrive at your door. Remember, head to lootcrate.com/critical, use the code CRITICAL to save $3 off your new subscription. And now, here's your new episode of Critical Hit.
This episode is brought to you by Major Spoilers VIP members. Thank you for your support of Major Spoilers and the Major Spoilers Podcast Network. If you would like to become a bronze, silver, or gold VIP member, go to members.majorspoilers.com for more information.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you, everyone who downloads this episode, who shares this episode with a friend, who goes over to iTunes and uses the comment section to share those fabulous 5-star reviews. We love it. It helps us out and allows us to do some cool things. I'm always amazed when I go and see all the other fine role-playing podcasts that are out there that we're ranked with, and it's wonderful to see all the work that our fans put in. We're back for another episode this week.
Yeah,
I would say we're probably there, at least 50 weeks a year. So this year you've listened to at least 50 Critical Hit episodes.
Critical Hit. This is the theme song for Critical Hit.
Is it?
No, it's actually not. It's actually not.
No, it is. I like that song,
Well, these are the reasons why. Okay, everybody, let us go and continue where we left off last time. Rodrigo. On critical hit. Yes. Because if we don't say that, people start flipping out.
I'm boycotting. I'm not going to on critical hit anymore.
What did happen last time on critical hit?
We got on a train?
Not quite.
We're loading up on
We got on a train partially disguised as fish.
Partially disguised as boxes.
Brandis used his amazing mechanical knowledge to build boxes.
To disguise us as cargo. Don't call us that. It's rude.
All right. Do you remember where you're going?
Down the mountains to the city of...
no, we just left it.
We are going down to Mendozalo.
Yeah,
and I probably butchered that.
Correct.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, Mendozalo. That is our final destination.
So, yeah, let's talk about trains. The train for Mendozalo is loaded very, very early in the morning. So it's really not difficult to get a box full of fish and adventurers into the train. There isn't really a lot of oversight, like they're not like opening boxes or anything like that, and definitely they're not going to open it because it basically it gets thrown in with 20 other identical boxes. But Little Sparkle does manage to make it so that there aren't any more boxes on top of it.
That's good.
Fair enough.
That can make unpacking a little bit complicated.
So you guys, if I recall, the plan is to have Orem Randus and Sakar in there
For now,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
That is
then
correct.
Ket and Little Sparkle are going to ride the train
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
like normal peoples.
Sure. Let's say that.
Yeah. That's totally what Ket's going to do.
All right. So
It's not like we can't always trade out later.
Can we, though?
Disguise hats.
well, let's talk about that.
Oh.
The cargo carts or cars rather, are not easily accessible from the rest of the train. So basically, there is the engine, then various levels of passenger cart, then the cargo ones at the end. Whereas the passenger ones do have access between the cars, the cargo ones actually can only be accessed from the top. So while the train is moving, you have to exit out the last passenger car, climb up this little hand ladder, and go into the car from the ceiling. So it's not particularly easy to get into them. They basically have this big thing that, is like a pretty standard thing. They just kind of have like these big sliding doors on the side because that's how you're supposed to load them and unload them. You're not supposed to have people in the cargo cars. That's dangerous.
We live dangerously.
Okay. Yes.
But yes, so assuming that you, for some reason, need to do that, that is going to be what is involved in that situation.
All right. So basically only trading out or reaching into the cargo hold in case of emergency.
Sure.
Do we have any communications options between those in the box and those in the cars?
Do you?
Sending ritual.
Yeah, presumably sending.
Actually, we have something that's better than a sending ritual. We have that.
We have a telepathy thing?
We do have a thing that allows us to communicate with one another for several hours.
Oh, yeah.
For several hours. And
maybe
then,
even-
Yeah, I think this is a several days trip, though.
Well, and then it's It can be cast again and again and again. Let me find it.
It's a ritual.
Does it need all of us present to be cast?
I believe it does.
Where are your
That's going
rituals
to be
on
problematic.
here? The rituals aren't on
That's
here. Are
that's
they?
okay. You guys could have
Exactly.
cast
That
it
is so
before
stupid.
you got in.
That is the problem with the character builder.
Mm-hmm.
When you print it
So-
out, it does not print out your
Do
ritual.
you remember the name at all?
Something, something, hello everybody.
Hang on a second.
I'm pretty sure that's its official name.
That's definitely it.
It
It didn't pull up
It
anything in the
is-
compendium.
Oh, you have to put a star dot star.
Oh. At the front?
Yeah, anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Wild cards, Rob.
Yeah,
Still didn't work.
Boolean.
It's a telepathic bond.
there you go.
You link hands with your ally, blah, blah, blah. For the duration of the ritual, you and up to 8 allies can communicate telepathically. You do not need to share a common language to communicate telepathically. Your Arcana check result determines the duration of the ritual. So the maximum is 8 hours.
Right. Oh, so yeah, so that's the problem. After 8 hours, we wouldn't be able to connect with one another
Yeah,
again.
yeah. That's,
Yeah.
How?
Well, we can always do a sending thing if we had to, even though that takes a couple minutes to prepare. But even at its weakest, we'd be able to hit somebody in another car.
Here's the thing. Like, you do not have a lot of space in those boxes.
But we're made of
Like-
bed and little shelves.
And that's fine. You can lay down and you can sit up, but there's really not a lot of room. Certainly not enough room to cast a ritual.
Oh, boo.
However, there should be enough room for them to cast a ritual scroll,
Sure.
and they could make a couple of. Cause we could make 2 or 3 scrolls ascending beforehand. That way, in an emergency, we can pop a scroll.
That would work.
So
Sounds good to me.
1 or 2 for each group.
Probably 2 is enough.
Yeah, 5.
So 1 for each group.
No, 2 for each group.
2 for each group. Okay.
So total of 4. What's the cost on that?
Should be the same cost as casting the ritual.
Sending is
10.
component cost 50 gold.
All right, 50 times 4 is 200 gold.
And the
ritual of sending.
do they make the check when they make the scrolls or when you use them?
I think it's when you use them.
Okay. That would be easier, otherwise we'd have to keep track of which scroll had which check.
2 for Team Hobnob,
And
2
2
for Team Leopard.
2 for
Is
the
it Team Leper?
box trolls.
Leopard. Leopard.
Box trolls.
I like Stevens better.
Team box trolls.
Well done, Brian.
Now, are you actually going to cast the telepathy ritual?
No.
Okay.
Glad we thought of that
I
before.
mean, we could just because things are probably more likely to go wrong the first 8 hours when we're figuring out what's going on than they are other times during the trip.
Yeah,
Don't
but it also
underestimate
costs
our ability to do
1,100
things
to
wrong.
cast the telepathic bond.
Yeah, fair enough. That is a fair bit of coin.
Yeah, we only have 41,000 in components left.
Remember, we're really bad at this, too. So.
If you
Now-
want to cast the telepathic bond,
Nah, I think we're okay.
does that 41,000 already calculate the 200 that we just used on sending?
No, it does not.
So
If we wanted to do
40,800 then.
Yes, 40,800. Fine, Rob.
We're supposed to spend this stuff when we do these rituals.
I know, I've got it written down.
Okay.
That explains why our money never seems to go down.
Oh no, it goes down. You should have seen what we started with.
Yeah. No, it doesn't go down often because we don't really spend it that often. Like, for the most part, it's usually cast a few sendings here and there and we're good.
Mhm.
So we did just make a dent on it with our shopping trip.
Yeah.
Yes, the shopping trip did bring it down quite a bit.
So, your box gets loaded in, and you guys did end up in the car closest to the cargo cars, so that's useful. and there's only one car in between yours and where the boxes are, or where your box is. So these cars are kind of your, I guess, business class type things. They're not as crowded as some of the other cars. Basically, they are set up with a bunch, essentially like a kind of like a diner. It's just a bunch of seats, like that are actually pretty ample. They could easily sit, 3 people per seat, and they just face each other. And then, there's like another set of 2 up against that one, and another set of 2 with kind of like if you're sitting down on either side, you have a wall, and then on the other side you have a hallway. And then across that aisle, there's another set of seats.
Styling.
Yeah. Inside the cars, there is some insulation to the noise, so it's probably not as noisy in here as it is out there, but it's still super noisy to the point where, you have to talk, like talking normal is a whisper and shouting is, or, raising your voice is talking normally.
Okay.
So yeah, Ket and Little Sparkle find themselves in a train car. There's probably maybe altogether 8 booths in this car. And only one other one has people in it, and it just has like a couple other like merchant types.
All right.
Oh, cool. Do we have an assigned booth?
No, you
Okay.
do have an assigned car, just because, it's like the people that are just paying the lowest amount are not allowed to go into other cars. Therefore, all
Fair.
cars have to be assigned.
Well, given how loud it is, I assume we probably just don't do that much talking because it would be a hassle, and there's nothing that we would want to talk about like that wouldn't possibly be bad for people over here in all likelihood. So, grab a booth, maybe like play some cards to pass the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if we can possibly get others over to the booth so I can make some money.
Oh, you want to?
Oh, if I'm going to be gambling.
You want to call attention to yourself by gambling.
Hey, you're not here. Somebody give me a
Yeah.
diplomacy check.
All right.
Cat is thrown from the train.
Unlikely.
Little Sparkle will discourage hustling on our train ride.
Ket is uninterested in playing a one-on-one game where there is no real stakes.
Fair enough. That is pretty boring.
My diplomacy is a 37.
All right. You can get the other 2 people in the cart to come over and sit with you guys and play some cards.
Cool.
These are 2 humans. They don't have any like guild insignia on them or anything. They're probably just kind of, contractor types.
Find out what games they know. Play one of their choice. Just kind of make casual small talk about their business. Be polite.
Okay. Meanwhile, with the
great.
fish, So you guys are in a box. It is a large enough box that you can all lay down comfortably, and probably sit up with your heads bowed a little bit.
Okay.
And you can move around, but you definitely have to duck if you're gonna do any amount of moving.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it doesn't. Obviously, nothing here but us fishes. So you guys can actually, there's no real issue with you guys talking. Definitely not an issue if you guys are talking quietly.
Mm-hmm. How many days did she? How many days did she say we were going to be in here?
Did she say?
We should have probably asked that before.
Maybe.
Or we should have dried some of these fish out before.
There are a number of aspects of this plan which probably did invite greater scrutiny.
We're here. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Not the worst accommodations I've had.
Oh, remember that one time when we were captured by pirates and we had to be in behind bars? That was pretty awful.
It didn't last that long, though.
I know, but still. This is worse than this.
I suppose.
But remember when we were in the Astral Sea and we were in Shalai, how awesome those accommodations were?
It's nice. Good workshop.
Yes. This is not that.
I don't suppose so.
What about you, Sakar? Have you been in some interesting places that are worse accommodations than this?
Oh, certainly. Certainly nothing as impressive as the Astral Sea. But I once spent the better part of a week in an iron cage roughly the size of... Well, actually, roughly the size of me.
Why were you in an iron cage?
A long and involved story.
Well, we've got nothing but time.
A long and involved story.
Involving what?
Long involving stories. Certainly there are more pleasant discussions to be had.
Well, it sounds interesting. I'm not sure, pleasant, but I mean, you're out of the cage now.
Am I?
I don't know. Are you?
I very, very much mislike the entire travel portion of this adventure.
How come? We got to ride in a sky boat. We got to ride in a river boat. Now we got to ride in this train boat.
I'd still say it's generally, drier and cleaner than some trenches we spent our time in.
Indeed, but the ceilings are ridiculously low. I don't relish the idea of being completely enclosed like this for a long period of time. It's certainly not my favorite.
Oh, I understand. So, Randus,
Yes.
how's your mom?
She's doing good. From what I can gather, busy, I guess. Making arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
The day-to-day running of an oath house is actually more complicated than it might seem.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'll hear that plenty when I get back.
Mm-hmm. Your mom did wanted you to come back with somebody. Yeah, just passing along the information. So, Sakar.
Yes.
Maybe we talked about this before, and I just slipped my mind in all the building of boxes that we were doing. But what is a bright one?
A bright one. Where did you hear that phrase?
It was when we were on the island. On your island.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Generally, a bright one, I believe, is just a term for certain types of, certain followers, I guess, of primal philosophy. The Reapers of the Shining Harvest, which is the order to which I belong, are occasionally referred to as bright ones. Essentially,
What does the Shining Harvest do?
Well, you've seen me doing it. Essentially, the spirits all around us are communicating all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, not everyone is able to hear it. As a Reaper, it's my responsibility to make sure that that communication is heard so that the spirits and the corporeal beings are able to interact and benefit one another. Essentially, it's a link between the spirit world and the other sentient creatures, for lack of a better word. So obviously, let's say you wish to found a new city, and you move into an area, but the spirits there are intractable or unwilling to accept this settlement. As a Reaper, I can assist in assuaging that situation and making it more comfortable for everyone, allowing those spirits and the beings to coexist.
Okay.
So that basically the magic benefits everyone.
So wait, a Reaper, is that someone that goes in and do you take souls? Do you take spirits from the area? I'm not sure I know what a Reaper is.
Well, you're familiar with grain.
Yes.
And when you reap the grain, you're actually bringing in that harvest. You're bringing in the benefit of tending and growing that crop.
Well, I understand from the crop perspective. I was just, I guess I usually think of Reapers as something quite associated with dead and gatherings. So,
well, this is more of a metaphorical crop.
Okay.
Essentially, we try and teach the populace how to work, and in many cases, specifically with the harvest, the actual growing of grains can be assisted by the spirits in the area. When I've spoken with the trees, when I've spoken with the roots and the plants, and perish forbid the creatures that we found on the other planes in our long and involved journey, any one of those situations could have been much worse had we not been able to communicate. And that is essentially what a Reaper does, is
spirit
enable that communication.
I see. Okay. So then what does being a Bright One Reaper have anything to do with your transformations?
Yes and no. You remember Gibkin?
Yeah.
Gibkin is a keeper of the fiery garden. His philosophy is different than my own. But essentially, once again, it's interacting with those spirits, interacting with the primal magic that's all around us all the time, and using it to better the ends of the philosophy. So when someone speaks of a shining one, generally, they're speaking of essentially someone of those primal or druidic type societies.
Okay. Not sure I completely understand. So, being a druid, Reaper, Bright One, Shining One.
Yes.
Allows you to turn into the snake peoples?
Well, it allows me to turn into a snake as necessary.
So what are you more of? Are you more human? Or are you a human that will transform into a snake, or are you a snake that transforms into a human?
I am an oblea. And when I choose to, I can take on a greater form. The flame snake specifically is essentially an extant priority that I can channel into myself. So the question of who turns into what is really not the case. In this case, two separate things become one. So not all druids are reapers, but all reapers are druids.
Hmm.
Sort of. It's a complex sort of discussion.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
You haven't had much interaction with the primal side of the mystical equation, I take it?
Not so much with primal. We've had a few.
Yeah.
Well, one of our companions had some primal connections.
There was that one gentleman with the water bears, and then the unfortunate with the bird spirits. And
Right,
cat.
right. Yeah. Yeah, we've met some druids, definitely. That was not... one time, Ket got turned into a bird because he didn't want to get his spirit cleaned correctly.
I recall Warden Duthane telling me
Oh, yeah, it's...
of that situation.
we tell all the little ones in the Feywild about that. They laugh, and they laugh, and they laugh. And then we make them all go take a bath.
Right.
It's a good serve. It was a good object lesson, I suppose.
Well, Hazard does serve as an excellent cautionary tale. But then, to be fair, so do we all.
Fair, yes.
Anybody want some fish?
Yeah.
Thank you. No.
I think I'll be good for a while.
All right. I'm just going to sit over here. I'm going to meditate, so it may look like I'm paying attention, but I'm just going to meditate.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys want to talk some more. We'll cut away.
Okay. And scene.
Yes. So, give me a level of fleecing that you are looking for here, Ket. Like, how badly are you going to take these people's money?
Oh, nothing extensive, nothing damaging unless they have a gambling problem. At which point I don't have a choice but to take all of it.
I see. That's
because they won't stop. So
that's an interesting justification.
You could always say, no, I don't want to play with you anymore. I think we're good.
But see,
then they won't learn.
There's that.
They won't learn about their gambling problem.
The general idea of Ket won't really want to stop gambling unless other people also say, let's stop.
Who has the gambling problem?
Yeah.
It's only a problem if I lose.
Sure.
Why do I feel like we
It's
need to
okay.
add
He has a
PSA
system.
at the end of our-
He also has one of those little
kids.
cards he can pull out that tells him what the odds are.
Don't gamble.
Well, after some time hanging out and playing with these guys, they will be like, "Oh, we have to look at some of our business plans here for the next stop, so we'll leave you." And they take off. But you guys made, we'll say, Ket made 10 gold and Little Sparkle made 5 gold.
Woo!
Neat.
Most of which is in essentially silver and jade.
Sure.
So for those of you in this car having windows, you can really see what's actually going on outside. And basically, this thing is moving incredibly fast. Like, this is a really, really fast transport. And as it flies by, it essentially shoots like crazy lightning bolts everywhere. So you can see, essentially, as you approach, and sometimes as they happen, that the whole mountainside is just scorched from the trains going by.
Neat.
Yeah.
And terrible.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of people or fauna, at least in this part of the trip, other than the odd mountain goat, just kind of white goats with black horns on the sides of the mountain. Obviously keeping their distance from the train.
I'll probably quietly watch the scenery seat speed by.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, it's pretty uneventful, other than, the odd kind of loose rock or goat that gets too close to the train. But generally speaking, nothing much happens. There is someone does come by to take dinner orders.
Cool. Get some food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doze off. I assume, even with the noise, it probably, as in most transportations, becomes kind of rhythmic after a while.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we'll go back to the box. I sent you some things, Matthew, by the way. I don't know if you saw them.
It's a lot less noisy.
It's just as noisy. There's just no one to hear it or overhear any secret conversations.
Yep.
Oh. I am not feeling well, gentlemen.
Oh, that's not good. What do you mean not feeling well? Did you eat too much fish? Not enough?
No, not. I'm honestly not certain.
Is it too much rocking of the train? Is it too hot in here? Too cold in here? Do you need Randus to dart you or something?
No, certainly not. Although, if we can open the box, I don't know if there's.
Yeah.
Do we know if there's anyone outside?
No. I think I have a. Well, I can't use. Rodrigo said I can't cast rituals in here.
Not in here.
I could pop out and check.
I mean, you can, if you have like a spell, you can cast a spell.
Oh. Sure enough, I closed my rituals page. Oh, no, here it is. I thought I had something that was like an all-seeing eye that lets me go see something.
All-seeing eye.
Are you feeling okay? You look, complexion's a bit
I must have got rid of it.
weird.
Not especially, no.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's get you some air. I'm going to go ahead and crack open the box.
Yeah.
Okay, you move the mechanism and the box slides open. Out here, there's some light coming in through seams in the car. Orem and Randus notice two things about Sakar. One, he has these like weird dark veins kind of coming up underneath his collar and on his neck and onto his face. They're also on his hands, and his eyes are real bloodshot.
Ooh, you don't look good. Has this happened before?
No.
Did you get bit by something?
Not in as much as I'm aware, no.
Ooh, maybe you should take off your shirt so we can see where this thing's coming from.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Randus has a salve or an ointment that he could apply. Or a plaster.
And launching 1,000 fanfics, Sakar removes his shirt at Orem's request.
Well,
Podcast at majorspoilers.com.
You want them to send you that?
I've
It
seen
was
worse.
for medical reasons.
I've seen worse.
That's right. So, Sakar takes off his coat and shirt. And yeah, as far as Randus can see, there does not appear to be a point of origin. It's like they are just like his veins have taken on this like really dark color.
And this is not something that's happened before, right? Sakar?
Give me a second.
You like crack a door, get some fresh air?
Yeah, look around. I need to look around the car and make sure that no one else is here.
Nope, just you and a bunch of other refugees hiding as fish.
Oh, okay. Phew.
No, it's just you guys.
Okay.
It's all right.
No, I've never felt anything like this before.
Randus, do your healing stuffs.
Well, I mean, what how, can you describe the symptoms? How do you feel there?
Oh. No.
Just no.
I can't describe it per se.
Is it like something's trying to get out?
That's a comforting thought.
Are you feeling some negative, your primal forces? Are they all working okay?
I'm not certain. I believe I need to find out.
And it all goes away. The veins recede, and Sakar feels fine.
Well, that was odd.
Yes.
Feeling
Yes,
better?
indeed. Orm grabs a fish and holds it up against Sakar.
Okay.
Maybe it's an allergic reaction.
I don't believe I have allergies.
Well, and definitely, I mean, he didn't like wash himself or anything, so if he had any residual fish, it would still be on him.
And
Residual
if it were
fish.
an allergy, adding additional fish would seem unwise.
We have to test.
Sakar swats the fish away as nicely as possible.
Yeah, that's troubling. I guess
Maybe there's something in those blankets.
maybe.
I'm not certain. I had a moment back in the city where something felt off, and this, I don't know if it's related or not.
What do you mean felt off?
I can't really describe it any way other than that.
Was it, you mean like from your primal, like something was wrong with the primal energies?
Sometimes it's hard to differentiate. I mean, I honestly don't know. I am, however, going to put on my shirt.
Oh,
Fair enough.
And my vest. I do like my vest.
Yeah, I guess just get some rest. Let us know if you.
Yeah, go lay down. We'll leave the box open so some air can circulate.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
So, Randus, what do you think we should do?
I don't know what we could do. I just
Should
keep
we
an
let
eye
the
out.
others know?
I mean, maybe forewarned is forearmed, but wouldn't want to worry him too much. But guess
Okay.
I don't see.
If it comes back, though, we're going to let the others know.
Okay.
Forewarned, maybe forearmed, but 8 arms is an octopus.
Yes.
That was out of character, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. Okay, just saying.
All right. Back to the passenger cart. Time goes by. It's, kind of after you get over the initial, we're going very fast, and that tunnel doesn't seem wide enough, or nope, yep, we made it. That's cool. It's not a very eventful ride. Although the tunnels are cool because then, there's just like it's a light show. As basically you run in and there's just like lightning bolts shot to walls that, you could essentially reach out and touch if you were to open the window.
Spivvy.
Yeah. But time goes by, and eventually you guys go through. Basically, it's nighttime. You guys go through an entire day of travel.
I mean, Sparkle will eventually start engaging Ket in effectively conversation that like two coworkers could have that's not too safe. Like, tell me about your family. How old is your brother and sister? What do they do?
Well
Things
then,
like that.
well then, go for it.
Now you got to do it. Acting.
So yeah, tell me about your siblings.
What do you want to know?
Oh, have you guys how old are you? The middle, oldest?
I'm the oldest by about a year, give or take.
Okay. Couldn't tell.
Emil's about 8 years younger than we are.
Gotcha. And how long have you all been living together?
Since we were kids.
What about your parents?
My father died in as a guardsman in one of the raids. Large city, regular raids. And our mother didn't last that long afterwards. So it's been Grandma helped raising us since then, since we were little. Shortly after Emil's birth. So Charlotte and I both kind of got jobs and started working to help raise Emil really early.
And so you were in the police officer. What does Charlotte do?
She mostly took care of the tavern.
Oh, sure. What raided you?
One of the warlords. I don't even remember which one anymore.
Oh. I didn't realize that was an issue in Coldport.
It's the Freelands. Coldport's probably the most civilized area down there.
So by freelance, you mean it's just, bands of warlords?
Some of it, tribes of other people. It's not all warlords. Just the occasional warlord will come through, raid Coldport, raid other cities.
Sure.
There's been a couple of big ones that actually have been a threat, but for the most part, the guard keeps them away. Just occasionally the guard will lose a couple people.
So there's no central government that to raise an army to deal with that sort of thing?
It's the government of Coldport.
So why don't they deal with the warlords?
They do.
No, with the guards.
Yeah, the guards, there's the entire City Watch has got a few different groups. There's a militia, patrol, detectives, and the alchemists that all deal with certain...
What would it be? I was going to ask about the alchemists.
Oh, they're just another member of another group within the City Watch. They kind of make they're like Randus, only less eccentric, less mechanical, I guess. There's a few of them that are a bit more eccentric. Randus probably would have been a good alchemist if he liked brewing more than tinkering.
You had asked
I heard about the guard, then I asked about what running an inn is like.
Didn't catch that. Interesting. You get to meet adventurers. People tend to the tavern tended to draw a lot of people looking for grandma's services, and she's an adventurer from way back, so she kind of knew how to make magic items, identify things, get what people needed when they didn't know it was what they needed, that sort of thing. So got to meet a lot of interesting people there.
So, your grandma's an Eladrin. Was one of your parents an elf and the other a human then?
My father was a human. My mother was part Eladrin.
Okay.
I don't know, Grandma
Roughly
called it
third.
presented human.
How did like she didn't look as, I don't know, not like an elf as you?
Yeah.
Sorry, elves are pretty rare here, and Eladrin are basically unheard of, so I don't really know a lot about family structures.
I know about my grandmother. She...
Oh, sorry, go on.
I say she didn't particularly speak of the other Eladrin, other than I knew that she kind of wasn't particularly interested in going back to them.
Do you know why she decided to settle here?
Love.
Aw. How'd she meet your grandfather?
She... Give Rob a sec. He hasn't really put all of this together yet.
And that's why in-character conversations are fun.
Yeah. He actually owned the tavern to start with. Was the barkeep there.
Oh, wow. So 3 generations of barkeeps.
Yeah. Well, or a generation of barkeep, and then skip a generation and another one of barkeep.
Right.
Her name was Grandma. She was a chauffeur. I'm going to shut up now.
So is Emil planning on taking over the place?
Not now.
Oh, yeah. I suppose that's fair. It's really sad that all that history is kind of lost now.
They're strong. We'll handle it.
Yeah. Still. When did what caused it? Was a spirit, right, that caused the plague?
Yes.
It was just what, upset at something, or?
Big angry thing. Alright, yeah, helped me track the thing down. Big, bloated, corrupt spirit in the, Undercity.
And once you dealt with it, everyone woke up?
Yeah. Pretty much. There were a few people who took a little longer, those that were out for longer, they kind of came back as the spirit energies dissipated. I imagine this would have been Sakar probably would have been really helpful there.
Sure, but sounds like you got it dealt with anyways. It's a shame that the government wouldn't just accept the fact that it had been a spiritual plague rather than a more conventional one and let everyone move about freely once it was dealt with.
By the time I was able to deal with it, the plague had been going for a few years.
Oh, wow. I had no idea it was that long.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why they were taking caution then. So what, just anyone who entered the district fell asleep?
No, still never really figured out why any particular person contracted the disease. But you would start to fall asleep, or you get sickly first, which is probably why it was considered a plague. You would actually show regular symptoms of just being sick, and then you would sleep.
Was the spirit feeding off the people that it put to sleep, or?
I am not certain. I tried to reason with it, but it was well beyond my limited spiritual capabilities.
Yeah, sure, I wouldn't know what I was doing with the spirit either. That's Big Teach's domain whenever that came up.
Yeah. I had a bird to help out, but he's not terribly talkative.
Oh, your little spirit bird?
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
Not really. Occasionally I'll call him Shadow.
I like that name.
He's kind of a shadow. What he formerly was. So what about your family?
What about him?
How many are there? Who is there?
Just my dad right now. He, haven't talked to him directly in a while. I had to keep quiet about what I do for his safety. So he thinks I work for the Coil because the money is good, not because I'm trying to undermine them from the inside. And so he hates me for it because the Coil pretty much killed my mom and brother.
Huh. So taking down the Coil is extra personal.
Yeah, it's kind of my life's work for... I mean, all of it was my fault to begin with, so... They destroyed my whole village.
How was that your fault?
I was a stupid kid. I liked collecting rocks, and I found a shiny one, and I was so excited to show my dad it that I didn't pay any attention to the fact that there was a visiting Coil representative there when I ran up, and the rock turned out to be gold, and the Coil took over the town to mine it. And they left behind a toxic, stinking hole after poisoning the water. And my family were fishermen. So when there weren't any fish anymore, my mom got a job at the mine, but they didn't train her, and they didn't set up any proper precautions. And there was a collapse, and she died. And my brother was younger than me, and all the kids got sick because of the water, and he died.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's why I do what I do.
That makes sense.
And it's just frustrating now because now that I could finally tell my dad, now that my cover's blown anyways, I can't go to him because he's under surveillance. Because, they're hoping that I show up to find him and then they can take me.
We do have scrolls that you can at least let him know that you aren't betraying their memory.
I don't know how to do any magic stuff.
You just read what's on the thing.
Oh, you don't have to be
They already did it.
Oh, really? I had no idea that that's how that worked.
Yeah.
So I'm still, my league doesn't have a wizard or anything like that. So this is all pretty new.
No, I'm not so good at the whole ritual thing either. I know the one that lets me summon Guy, and that's about it.
Yeah, like Teach knows some stuff, but like it's mostly, setting up little camps or making us, go faster if we wind up stuck in the wilderness, or nothing about like sending messages to people. I that would be amazing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the coil would have a good way of intercepting that. I'll ask Orm as soon as we get all together again.
All right.
And then wait, I can send a message to Teach too? Oh, wow, wait, can we send a message to Lek?
Maybe. Depends on where he's at.
Sure, but provided he's still on the plane. I mean, I don't think they would have taken him somewhere else.
Do you think they would have taken him to their main capital here?
Yes, almost assuredly.
Then
he's in New Malakal.
we can probably do one once we get to New Malakal. The ritual itself has a limit on the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that is myself. But I'm assuming New Malakal is nothing compared to some of the cities we've been in.
What, in terms of size?
Yeah.
I don't know what cities you guys have been in. It's the biggest city. I mean, it was bigger than any city I saw when I was on the Central Continent.
Well, there's no city on the Central Continent that's big enough to have a sending not make it all the way across.
Great. Yeah. Then maybe we could test it with like a sending to Teach. I really want to know what he's up to and let him know that I'm safe. He's probably worried about me.
Is he also in New Malakal?
Yeah, that's what at least Tlatoni said. I mean, it's possible that he's left since then, but my guess is he's still there.
Right. Yeah. So we can talk to Orm and Randus about making some scrolls, and we can contact the people once we get there.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd really appreciate that. I've been meaning to tell you since the boat. You're definitely. I mean, I'm no priest or theologian or anything like that, but I know evil. I've seen it a lot, and you're not that. What you did for those people in the Twins district, you're not a bad person. And you should know that.
Thanks.
No problem. I just think that's, I don't know. I mean, sometimes people have to make hard decisions, and that doesn't mean that they're bad.
Yeah. I've been comfortable with most of the decisions I've made in my lifetime.
That's good.
But we can't win all of them.
No, we can't. And that's something I've also been thinking about. The ideal situation is that we find Lek and we, I don't know, find some way to contact the Queen's rebellious daughter and get him off this Spertus somewhere safe. But there's a real possibility. I mean, I don't know how to get in touch with her. I don't know how she's monitoring us. And if that happens, there's no safe place for him here. The Coil's not going to stop looking, and they're willing to cross continents and planes to find him.
They have ways into the Feywild.
Yeah, that's how I first met up with Orem, is they opened up a portal to try to kill him.
To kill Orem?
Yeah. Because they were trying to get to Lek, and they had a list of people they thought were associated with Randus, because they knew that Lek had been corresponding with Randus. And they had a agency anyways that was focused on plumbing resources from the Feywild. So they used that to open a portal and sent a kill squad through. I snuck in with them.
So it's Randus's fault that we were all targeted.
Yes.
Okay.
You can blame him.
That's actually different from normal.
Though, to be fair, you weren't on the list. We just kind of stumbled upon you incidentally because the assassins that were sent to deal with Randus were stationed in Coldport, the Stabbingtons.
So this would have been before Randus left the plane the first time.
I guess. I mean, their information seemed super old since they had 2 people on the list that aren't with you guys anymore.
2 people? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Smith and Torque.
That was Rob's script.
That's all right. Just roll with it.
You forgot your own character.
No, I forgot you weren't Torque anymore, which makes me sad.
I'd say just roll with it in character. Just Ket suddenly gets kind of sad because he forgot that Torque wasn't with him anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. We have lost a few.
What happened to them?
Well, if it's old enough to before Randus came to Shalai, then the one had a god pulled out of him.
What?
I guess.
How did he have a god put in him in the first place?
The god did it?
So the god put himself into this guy?
Yeah, I'm not really up on the mechanics of this one, but essentially, when the moon was pulled closer to the plane, this god infected their friend, or a person who ended up becoming their friend. And he did that to gain some amount of power and manifest himself on the moon. In doing so, he was pulled out of their friend, killing him.
That's crazy weird.
Yeah. So, while I feel for their loss, I never really dealt with it. The other one on that list would be Torque, who we lost to.
What happened to him?
A greater Fae.
Oh, hence Orem talking about not making deals with greater Fae.
Yeah, that whole never seen or heard from again seems to be accurate when it's only one person involved.
So what? They got help from the Fae, and then the Fae
took
their friend away.
Yeah, we met this Fae while trying to fix the Feywild. He kind of took us on this years-long journey that ended up only lasting 6 months. 3 months, 6, I don't remember. I hate the Feywild.
Yeah, I was only there very briefly, and it was very disorienting.
Place doesn't really have rules when it comes to...
Yeah, just walking there is awful. Like, everything is too far away, and then you're there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then 3/4 of the place tries to eat you.
Luckily, nothing tried to eat us. To be fair, we had a little hedgehog in a bottle that was guiding us.
Why'd you put the hedgehog in a bottle?
I did not put the hedgehog in the bottle. The salamander's coil put the hedgehog in the bottle. I didn't even know it was a hedgehog in the bottle until after we, defeated the coil, hit squad, and then, or let it go.
Oh, okay. Helpful creatures, hedgehogs.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, I'd want a local guide if I was invading the Feywild, which also sounds like a terrible idea. I don't know. Now that since I have been there, I am now convinced that all of the Coil's plans involving the Feywild are incredibly stupid.
Yeah, most likely. If they think they can actually affect the Feywild in the manner that they are planning on, in a manner that requires a plan, they're probably poorly mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It seems like a resource that's too good to pass up, but it seems also to just be way not worth it.
It's probably actually literally too good for them to be capable of obtaining.
Yes. Though they have a hard time coming to terms with that as a base concept. And hey, if they get their way, they'll have worlds that do have rules to plunder for all their resources.
That's not going to happen.
I really hope not.
Well, we've saved the world like 3 times already. 4 times? How many times have we saved the world? You lose track after a while.
We're not in this scene. So don't ask us.
Yeah, we're busy.
You guys are certainly very confident.
Once you've done it once or twice, it's... Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. You start to gain some confidence.
Humble brag.
I mean, we've killed a god. They've killed more than one god.
What other god did they kill?
Well, they
besides the one that came out of their friend? I assume that was one of the gods they killed.
Yeah. Was it she who slumbers in agony?
Oh, they didn't kill her.
Just send her back to...
Yep, they just sent her packing.
Well, they took out a god, I guess. We didn't quite kill her. Sent her away. She who slumbers in agony, one of the crazy lunar gods.
I didn't even know that the moon had gods.
Yeah, neither did I for a while. Then they brought the moon closer and caused problems.
Yeah, it was actually seemed like it was going to be a good thing here. Like, I mean, besides like the crazy weather and stuff, and like a bunch of Capricorn priests disappeared when that all happened. But then Capricorn tried to get their priests back by doing terrible, terrible things. So, kind of a wash, like it always is with the guilds.
Hey, Rodrigo.
What's up?
When the priests all disappeared, was it both good and evil priests?
Yep. All
Okay.
of the priests from the Dark Council and the Pentatheon were recalled.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I may have met some of them, actually.
May have met some of the Capricorn priests.
Yeah. I don't know that they were Capricorns. I did meet some evil priests.
Oh. I assume there's plenty of evil priests to go around.
Probably.
Where did you meet them? Gambling?
Potentially. We were on the astral plane for a while, which is where all the priests got taken when the moon struck.
Huh.
But we had to go... I had to go speak with the 5 gods of the Dark Council.
Okay.
Convince them to help us out, because taking on a crazy lunar god was a bit beyond us then, without a little bit of help.
I'd imagine so. So what, they gave you their divine blessings?
No, they give us armies.
Oh, well, that's handy.
Yeah, no, this wasn't just a like 5-on-1 battle or anything. This was send thousands of troops, hundreds of monsters, and every boat we had to.
A celestial crusade, one might say.
Yeah.
We got title drop.
Yeah,
Well,
this was send everything the gods had at it.
that's quite the faith, I guess, they had in your band.
Yeah, apparently putting the moon back in place was a big boon in their favor.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
I just kind of figured out how to kill lunar monsters.
How do you kill lunar monsters?
Fire, mostly. Hitting them with a whip didn't hurt.
Fire does seem pretty good at killing most things, unless those things are already on fire.
Fair.
Well, I can't offer up any armies, but I'm hoping that we can at least unite with some other pretty competent truants to hit the coil hard.
Help will be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I've never worked directly with the Numakal 5, but they're supposed to be the best in the business, and they're also supposed to be allied with this mountain ghost, so if we can find her, maybe we can find them and plead our case.
Sounds like a plan. If not, well, at least a rescue mission is easy.
I assume that nothing about this is going to be easy. He's going to be very, very well guarded.
Yeah. I'm probably drastically overestimating our chances.
Well, as
But-
you said, you've saved the world a few times. I can't say I blame you. But I don't know. It's weird seeing your optimism, where the victories that we have are always so small and usually just cleaning up a mess that the coil made, as opposed to something as epic as the things you've experienced, saving whole planes.
So you've talked to a few gods and some of the greater fae. A few greedy mortals don't seem so scary.
Well, I certainly I can understand that they're still too scary to me.
Understandable.
But I'm really glad that you all have been so willing to take this fight on as your own. The coil wouldn't have come after you again.
It apparently comes with the having those two as friends.
Randus Norum?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I didn't exactly want to be in the Feywild to deal with that, but I had to follow Orem.
Why is that?
Oh yeah, Asmodeus told me to.
Why is Asmodeus interested in Orem?
I don't know.
That's somewhat unnerving.
Yeah, when the god of hell tells you to do something, you just don't really question it.
No, fair enough. I have fortunately never been directly told to do anything by a god, so. But, and when did he tell you this? Or I guess he didn't tell you why. How long are you supposed to follow Orm around for, just until he says otherwise?
I guess. We're separated for a good 5 years, so...
Mm. Were there repercussions for that?
I'm not entirely certain. So, told you about the Kobold Alley.
Yes.
Asmodeus is my patron
Yes.
and sponsor in that. He, in the 5 years since last seeing Orem, he lent me to other patrons. Some of which were problematic to deal with. So I don't know if that was a punishment or if he was just garnering favors and using me as just kind of a pawn.
Lent to other higher beings.
They mostly just make me play on their behalf.
Well, I guess that's kind of what you were going to do anyways.
Pretty much.
It's a strange game you've gotten yourself involved with.
Is it? I can't really tell anymore.
It's pretty strange by, I think, the standards of people that don't regularly interact with gods and archfey. Which is, as far as I know, most people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
All right, indeed. Somewhere I just picture a sword with an eye in the hilt as soon as the word friend is mentioned, popping open, and then, you know how your eye kind of squints down when you smile really hard? I suspect the sword does that as well.
Oh, definitely.
And I think we will break it right there this week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in these adventures. If you want to see these adventures continue, please consider supporting us. It's very easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of time or commitment or funding. Just head over to members.majorspoilers.com and sign up for a VIP membership. You can read all the information over there at members.majorspoilers.com. So until next time, when we, I don't know, probably will still be on a train, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.